a new name has emerged in the Penn State head coaching search. And to be quite honest, I love it. I love it for this coach. I love it for the Penn State fans. I love it for the Big Ten. The question is, will you love it? Let's talk about it next here on the College Huddle. You've landed on the mothership for the College Huddle. 86 independent podcasts from coast to coast, many of which are covering your favorite schools, and you have found home base for the College Huddle. So this whole coaching search thing is taking a weird turn, and to be quite honest, I felt very uncomfortable with where this was heading. You've got several massive job openings in college football, 3 of which are in the SEC, 2 in the Big Ten. You've got actually 4, I think, in the SEC now that I think about it: Auburn, LSU, Florida, and Arkansas. UCLA, Penn State in the Big Ten. You've got Virginia Tech from the ACC. You've got and Stanford, by the way. They're even though they have an interim head coach, they've had him for the whole year. They're still searching, and of course Oklahoma State from the Big 12. So that's 9. 9 Power 4 jobs are open. Penn State is one of, if not the best out of all of them. Although one might argue that LSU could be in that. Of course, I think Florida and Auburn fans would argue with you that theirs are just as good. But I digress. Penn State is one of the blue blood programs and one of the top programs in all of college football, which is why I believe very firmly that you just don't waltz into Penn State. You don't just walk into Happy Valley with little or to no head coaching experience. So the whole coordinator avenue that a lot of people have been going down with Brian Hartline from Ohio State, Joe Brady from the Buffalo Bills, who was OC at LSU in 2019 when they won a national championship. I don't know that that's exactly the path Penn State should be going down. They should be after one of the top candidates in football with head coaching experience. And one of them has quietly made his move for the job. Of course, we're talking about former Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald. Now, I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. As a Midwest guy, I love this guy. I've had a major college football head coaching crush on Pat Fitzgerald for the better part of 2 decades. Name me a football coach in the game of college football who has done more with less over a longer period of time than this guy. I'll wait. And I'll still be waiting. Because there is none. There's nobody. He has done more with less than anybody, dare I say, in the last quarter century in college football. And good news, all the incident that got him fired at Northwestern, guess what? He won that lawsuit. He won it handsomely. He won it with really out an argument from Northwestern. They paid him. The man got paid for his wrongful firing from Northwestern, which means there will be no NCAA infractions placed on him. There's no cloud hanging over his head unless you want there to be one for some reason because you're afraid of how it might look for the program overall nationally if you were to hire him. I don't think that that's the case at all. And in fact, I think this is the smartest choice that can be made by Pat Kraft, the athletic director at Penn State, is to go with this guy. Now, before I dive into my reasons why, I want to read you this quote from Pat Fitzgerald himself. So, he was on ESPN and was asked by Reese Davis on the College Game Day podcast what he felt his best fit would be, because it's obvious he wants to get back into coaching. It's who he is. He's a football coach, and a doggone good one, and only 50 years old, I might add. And he was asked by Davis what would be a good fit for him, and he makes a incredibly intelligent pitch to get an interview at Penn State without coming right out and saying it. Okay, and I love the quote. Let me read it to you right now because it is a fantastic quote. Pat says, "I think my fit is at a school that has a lot of linemen. I say that because with Jim Phillips, who's now the commissioner of the ACC, we had alignment moving out of the athletic department through our board up through the president's office. We were competitive and winning championships. We were rolling. As some things change, it changes. For me," listen to what he says here. This is very important. "For me, that's what I'm trying to evaluate on my end. I want to be in a foxhole together with an AD where we are doing this as partners together." That is his pitch to Pat Kraft. Give me an opportunity to interview with you. If Pat gives him that opportunity, and he should, by the way, in my opinion, at this point, you don't turn away any possible candidate if you're Pat Kraft. If he gives this man the opportunity to interview, he will knock a home run. He will hit it out of the ballpark. He's professional. He's experienced. He's been successful. He's everything you're looking for in a head football coach candidate. And here's why I believe Pat Kraft needs to consider Pat Fitzgerald for the job at Penn State. Number one, he has head coaching experience and success. Number one, you need somebody to come into this program and calm the storm down from day one. He can do that. He can do that. Number two, you need somebody who's going to walk in step with you. You be lockstep with this person. An AD and a head football coach need to be on the same page at all times. He already made his pitch to this man. I want to get in the foxhole with you, brother. Now, Pat Kraft did the right thing. He listened to the fan base. He was losing that fan base. And he did the right thing, and he went out and he got the $50 million to secure the firing of James Franklin. He did the right thing. I understand that no matter who he chooses as a head coach, that he's going to have a portion of the fan base that's going to love him, and he's going to have a portion of the fan base that's going to hate that decision. There's no way around it. Some are going to love it, some are going to hate it. And so he has to do what's best for the program, and I think that that's Pat Fitzgerald at this time. Number three, he's the anti-James Franklin. Think about it. Pat Fitzgerald beat teams and won games he had no business beating and winning. He's actually the exact opposite of James Franklin. And number four, and this is a big one, and this is why if you're gonna compare Fitzgerald to Brom, I think Fitzgerald makes more sense. He actually knows the climate and the culture and the conference and what it takes to win in the conference better than Brom does. So you put all of those things together, and I believe on day one, if you hire Pat Fitzgerald and he sits down at the press conference, he wins the fan base over on day one. Penn State fans who don't know this guy have never heard him talk, have never experienced him in public. He is such a great brand representative for your program. I'm going to be honest with you. There were times James Franklin was odd. There were times when James Franklin spoke, it was uncomfortable. There was a lot of times you felt like he's just blowing smoke up your rear end. This guy never does that, man. He is fantastic at public speaking. He's fantastic at motivation. And to boot, he's a fantastic head coach. But Boggs, can he recruit? There's nothing that says he can't. You try recruiting, you try recruiting at Northwestern and tell me if you're going to be successful as this guy was. There were plenty of times this guy came in, swooped in to states like Illinois, where he's from, Indiana. Well, when I say where he's from, where he coached at Northwestern, Michigan, Ohio. He swooped in, found the nuggets he needed, developed those nuggets, and then went and beat some of those bigger schools that passed on those kids. So he has an eye for talent. He can develop, he can motivate, he can scheme, and he's not afraid of playing in the trenches. He loves trench warfare football, which is what the Big Ten still is all about. This guy's success rate at Penn State will be so high that you're not only talking about probably competing for college football playoffs year in and year out, I think they become an incredibly dangerous program in the postseason if given the opportunity. So, as news comes out that Pat Fitzgerald is possibly a viable candidate, I throw my support behind him. I think he's the most viable candidate for that open job. If Matt Rule's not going there, and I know a lot of you Penn State fans didn't want to hear Matt Rule, but that was Pat Pat Kraft's guy, and obviously he's not going there. Obviously, Signetti and Indiana shut the door on that possibility from day one, and you still view yourselves as a big boy program, which you are, then you need a big boy head coach. Not somebody that you needs to quote unquote learn on the job and that you're going to be patient with for 4 or 5 years while they learn how to be a head football coach. Pat Fitzgerald, he's already been down that path. He's been down that school. He's been down it more than one time. He's been down it a whole bunch. And he's ready for this moment and this opportunity. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate all of you Penn State fans. You guys have been the most faithful to our College Huddle channel, and I appreciate that so much. Let me know what you think about Patty Fitz possibly being your next head coach at Penn State down in the comment section below. You're not a Penn State fan? Does it scare you to think about Pat Fitz with that kind of talent at Penn State? I'm not a Penn State fan, but I'll tell you straight up, he goes to Penn State, I'm kind of a fan of that because I love Patty Fitz. Y'all have a great day.